All right, everybody, here we go. Another video to do with a newly released movie out into theaters today. Hi, everybody. I'm Awesome Joe. Thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to go ahead and be talking about the newly released, 7 years waited, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. And I've already mentioned this before in my last video with my Project Hail Mary that I never saw the original. I never saw the first Ready or Not movie, and I hear a lot of great things about it. It just took me 7 years to get to seeing this movie. It's available out on Hulu right now, and I watched it. And I didn't even know it came out 7 years ago, 2019. I couldn't believe it. I don't even know what I was doing around that time. I know around that time probably I did get married at that time. So I was pretty much probably busy, living out my honeymoon with my newly wife at the time. But yeah, I don't really know why is it that I have waited so long to get into seeing this. But yeah, I watched it a few days ago before to get myself ready and prepared to going out and watching the second movie. And then when I watched it, it was, because I hear a lot of great things about it. It's a great horror film. I heard a lot of great critics and reviews off of it on how great it was. And having it coming out in 2019 and 7 years later to develop a sequel, which we'll get more into that later on within the video. But these two movies are directed by Matt Olpin and Tyler Gillett, who actually are from Radio Silence, actually directed the two Scream movies, Scream 5 and Scream 6, which of course are very favorite upon to being really great Scream movies added onto the franchise, along with Abigail, which I have not seen either. I gotta go watch that. I hear a lot of great things about that one. I think it's available somewhere on streaming, so I gotta check it out to see where I can find that one. They did, of course, VHS and Paranormal Activity 4. Not a big fan of shaky cameras. There's some really good ones out there, but because of the fact that I get really, nauseous and dizzy when I watch shaky camera movies, found footage stuff, I get a little nauseous. So I try to avoid watching those. I watched these, and, they're not that bad. And to top it all off, they are actually working on their next project for the third Mummy movie, because Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is not considered canon. I watched that movie the other day, not that good. But great having to knowing that they're doing they're directing the new Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz coming back. So looking forward to that. Can't wait because I'm pretty much new to how these two directors and how they do their work on these in particular films, because like I said, Scream 5 and Scream 6 are actually pretty darn good, and I really did enjoy their work. So when it came to me watching Ready or Not, the first film, I'm going to be talking about both movies here, just to, consider the fact that, this is pretty much a one big story divided into two films. But the second film wasn't really intended. The first film was pretty much just its solo film altogether, coming to a close right then and there. There was no further story. And I found out that the reason why it took them 7 years to develop a sequel is because they wanted to, because usually when you get a successful film, first film, immediately the studios want you to immediately do a direct sequel that fast, in less than a year. And usually that doesn't work out as planned. Lightning does not strike twice. It just doesn't strike twice in the same spot. That's what I was looking for, in the same spot. But in my personal opinion, when I watched, I was gonna say Ready Player One. I keep saying that wrong. It's not Ready Player One. And if I said Ready Player One and I didn't notice what I was saying, I apologize. It's Ready or Not. Okay. That word ready, man, it gets you. Ready or Not, 2019. When I watched it the other day on Hulu, I'd have to say that I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more off topic here. When I saw the trailer to the second movie, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, I loved that trailer. Even though I haven't seen the first film, I loved the trailer. I love on how the stakes were much more bigger, how the story has developed itself into bigger, bigger and more, dangerous things happening into the film. and and because I enjoyed it so much, I was very much looking forward to seeing this. But in order for me to see this, I had to watch the first movie. So I watched it. Here we go. I watched it. To tell you the truth, I didn't like it as well as I wanted it to. I didn't find the fun in it in the way that I was kind of hoping based off of what other people have been talking about with this movie. It was fun to a certain aspect, but unfortunately for me, I didn't feel like at the edge of my seat and wanting to watching the movie over again. I would want to try and watch it over again just for the sake of me. I want to enjoy it in the way that everyone else does. I really do. I try to do that with Stupid Man last year, the James Gunn movie, and I couldn't even get through that within the first 5 minutes. It's terrible for me. I just don't like it. Movies are just not for everybody. If everybody else says it's great, fantastic, good for you. I'm happy for you. But for me, in my own personal opinion, I'd have to say the movie's garbage. But for Ready or Not, I don't think it's garbage per se. I think it's fun in a certain aspect, like I mentioned earlier. But I didn't find it as fun enough for me to say, hey, this was a great movie. Let's watch it again. Let's have some more fun. I feel like I would have had more fun going into watching Ready or Not 2. I anticipated myself into believing that this one was not going to do well. Even, having to coming off of the first Ready or Not movie, assuming that it was just going to be the same old thing all over again. But the trailers are what got me. The marketing is what really brought me in into wanting to watch it. So I did, which is why I'm doing this video right now. When it comes to these two movies, there's one in particular thing that's actually a big thing that I don't like. And I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about here. And me as a movie critic, a movie fan, I'd have to, that's my whole other personal opinion away from what I'm about to mention here is a huge negative for these movies. Because you guys know one of my rules here when it comes to watching movies is I will not watch any movie that has any demonic stuff into it. I won't watch it. I'm sorry, I won't. I didn't know Ready or Not had demonic stuff in it. I thought that it was just in relations to this family according to their traditions that they bring in this newlywed into the family in order to accept her into the family. They either got to hunt her down. They got to hunt her down. She has until sunrise. They have to go and kill her. They have to find her, kill her, and before sunrise. Otherwise, they lose all their fortunes. These people are rich. So I thought that was a great plot. I thought that's what it was. But then when they introduced the whole cult of worshiping, I hate to say the name, but Satan here, I didn't like that. It really threw me off. It's not my thing. It really is not. I enjoy what they are trying to do here. Everything else is great. But when you throw in the whole cult stuff, it's a big no-no for me. I can't watch that. And so it's something that I'm really going to throw that under the table. I'm not going to include that because I am a 100% Christian. I believe in God. I understand it's just a movie, but I still have my boundaries. So I'm going to go ahead and sweep that under the rug because I did enjoy the second one more than the first. I really did. It was much more fun. I love the fact that it is very time zoned within its, within its first 24 hours or so. Um, you don't have to go through a time jump. This movie practically starts off immediately after the ending of the first film, which guaranteed. One thing I did love about the first film is that last line before the movie ended and it rolled the credits. In-laws. Yep, in-laws. They are a pain in the neck. Enough said. I don't want to get off topic here. But yes, I watched Ready or Not 2. Here I come. It's hard without me having to say Ready Player One here. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. I enjoyed it very much. I hear a lot of bad criticism towards it because a lot of them favor the first film. And for me personally, like I said, I didn't enjoy the first film as much as I enjoyed the second one. It feels very much like what we were getting ourselves involved in as the next chapter. This story felt like it was intended, but it really was not. I love the fact that they did not rush this writing. They wanted to make sure that this one came out not perfection, but where the stakes were higher. Jumping into the next level here. And I think that's exactly what they did. Excuse me. But I think it was fun. I had a great time. I laughed at a few moments, not because of the comedy, but because of the relief that happens, in some certain points of the film. And it just gave me great relief when I saw that. And it was just fantastic. There are some comedic points that are put into the movie that I also enjoyed that kept me very well entertained. There are movies out there that try to do that, but they just keep you bored and they just make you want to just leave the theater. But this one didn't do that for me. I enjoyed it very much. Which, by the way, my theater experience with this movie, I was the only one in there. What's going on, people? It's the weekend. Go to the movie theaters. Check out a new movie. Have some fun. Get some popcorn. Every time when I walk into that mall, I'm always manipulated into wanting to go to the theater because that's all I smell once I walk into the mall is the darn popcorn. But yeah, I don't know. I had like I mentioned yesterday, the audiences were like a good 10, if not 15 people in there. That was a lot better than this year. I mean, I like to enjoy a movie with an audience. But I had, like I said, I had a lot of good laughs in this. This was very great, phenomenal. Of course, these two movies, they star Samara Weaving, who plays the character Grace, and I'm like thinking, wait a minute, I just heard that name yesterday. With that's the name of the character for Ryan Gosling's in Project Hail Mary, and I'm just like, wow, that name Grace seems to be very popular right now. But yeah, she plays a character named Grace, okay? And this is Samara Weaving, not Margot Robbie. I didn't know that. Surprisingly, I mean, I'm pretty sure that that mistake is highly common because she does look like Margot Robbie. And at the time, 2019, when this movie first came out, I assumed it, and she was at a very high at the time. She's still at the very high now, but not as much as she was back then. And so I was under the assumption that this was Margot Robbie. In this movie, in the second movie, the majority of the time she's all covered up in blood, and in the bride outfit that she wears in the first film, she also wears it in this one. It started off white, surprisingly, and how much it's just plain red now because she's been covered in blood practically throughout both of these movies. But then when she cleans up, sometime around the movie, no spoilers here, when she cleans up and you just see her face, I'm just like, are we sure this isn't Margot Robbie? Are you sure that she's not her twin? Because there's a lot of similarities there. I'm just shocked. She could be her twin sister for all we know. She could be casted in this as the sister that she interacts with during this movie, which of course is played by Catherine Newton, who plays the character, her sister Faith, that we all know her from Detective Pikachu or Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. She was even in the movie that, with the same directors for Abigail, which I have not seen. I gotta go watch that. I'm excited whenever I get to find it. I think it's on Peacock, but I'll check it out. But yeah, I think that she was great. What's her name? Catherine Newton. But the dialogue between the two sisters in this, it was a little annoying because I'm like thinking, you guys are fighting for your life here. You guys are on the run right now. You're trying to be hiding, but yet you're having conflicts between the two of you as to why you guys hate each other, why you guys don't talk to each other anymore. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Can we save this conversation for another time? I understand that you guys are you have to develop a story. You have to develop the character relations between the two, in order for us to have a more clear understanding as to where the story is taking us towards. I get it, but it just wasn't working. It wasn't clicking. I just the entire time I just like, do we need to do this now? Every single time, whenever these two interacted with each other, whenever they think they're in the safe zone here, after encountering these new hunters in the mix, they have to have this conversation. I'm like, do we really need to do this now? No, we don't. Go off and hide. That's the name of the game. Hide and seek. It was irritating me. That's one of the negatives about the movie that I did not like, but I understood it just didn't work. And in the first movie, we did get some good known names that were part of the cult family. That were the hunters going after Samara Weaving's character. You had Adam Brody, you had Henry Czerny, which I love a lot. I loved him in the TV show Revenge. I loved him in the Mission Impossible movies. Great guy. And then Andie MacDowell was in this. I didn't know that. When I saw Ready or Not the other day and I saw her name pop up and then she appeared, I'm just like, oh, I have not seen you in a long time. How have you been? How are things? You look amazing. It's great getting to seeing you again, Andie. So it was great that she was in this. And I love that at the beginning of Ready or Not 2, you get a few flashbacks. It's kind of like, telling the audiences, letting them know, like, hey, remember this, when this happened, when that happened, it's all leading us to now our new story in this new movie. So I actually like that, a little retelling of that first film, previously on Ready or Not. But in this one, in the second movie, you got Sarah Michelle Gellar. Fantastic. We just saw her last year in I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it was fantastic getting to see her, and it was fantastic getting to see her here too. When she popped up in the trailer, I'm like, you got me. Let's do this. They were working on doing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer comeback series. I heard they canceled it, so I guess that's not going to happen. But it's great getting to see her. She was fantastic in this. I love her villainous acting in this movie. You got Sean Hadasoy. I think that's how you say it. Hadasy. I couldn't this guy looked so familiar. I couldn't really put it together as to where I've seen this guy from. It's the dude from The Faculty. And I'm just like, oh yeah. I'm like, I haven't seen you in a long time either. Just like Andie MacDowell. I'm like, how you doing, man? How are things? It's like great getting to seeing you again. Awesome. And not only, and just talking about The Faculty, we even got Elijah Wood. I knew he was in here. He was in the trailer. His acting in this is phenomenal. I love him. He's great. And just him and Sean reuniting again after The Faculty, which is close to already 30 years now since they last worked together. Great. I loved it. Fantastic. But yeah, Elijah Wood was, oh man, he was, every single time he popped up in this movie, I enjoyed every single second of his performance. We get Nestor Carbonell, which we knew him from, the Lost series, and he's also in The Dark Knight Rises. He's great too. I love seeing him. When I saw him in the trailer, I'm like, just like Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yes, let's do this, baby. Great getting to see him too. And then also we get Kevin Durand. Him, I didn't know he was in this. I didn't know if he was in the trailer or not, but when he popped up here, I'm like, hey, He's awesome. He's also in Lost, and he's in a whole bunch of other things. X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I can't really think of too many other things, but he does do the voice of Proximus Caesar from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So he did a great performance in that movie too, and I loved him in this. When every time when he spoke, all I heard was Proximus Caesar, and I'm just like, man, this guy can do it, man. I love his acting. So the acting in this is really great because when you see Samara Weaving, the way that she portrays her character every time when she's in pain, when she's getting tortured, when she's, just going through this, every time she gets injured, shot or scratched or cut or something like that, every time she's bleeding, or, every time, just anything that happens to her, and she gives this phenomenal, realistic scream. I'm just like, help her! You're killing her! It's like, it's so realistic. You believe that this lady is in actual pain, and that's acting. I mean, it's so realistic. I loved it. She did it in the first film. She does a whole bunch of it more in this one. I'm just like, wow. So yeah, I had a great time with this movie. And the way, I'm not giving away any spoilers here, but when the movie ends, it's very, very satisfying. It comes to a close. It's like, Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2. It's just one big story divided into two movies. Once that second movie is over with, that book comes to a close. I don't see any open doors for a third movie. I would be surprised if they did find a way on how to make a third movie. I don't really see that on how the way things ended in this. But it was very, very satisfying. So great time. Very, very great time with Ready or Not 2. Here I Come. Like I said, you have to roll your tongue here in order to say the correct name without having to say Ready Player One. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the ratings here. When I talk about Ready or Not 2019, I'm going to go ahead and rate that a 52%. 52 because, like I said, I didn't find it just as fun as I felt about the second movie, or even watching the second movie, the movie itself alone. I didn't have as much fun with it as, and I just didn't enjoy it the way how others felt like they enjoyed it, and the whole demonic stuff in there. I can't do it, man. It's I'm sweeping it under the rug. I'm not counting it in. I'm just doing it as a critic here, but that's my big personal opinion. I just didn't like that. I think that it should have just stayed more grounded and mentioned more like, you got to do this, otherwise you're going to you're going to die. So I think they should have done like a little Suicide Squad thing in there, where you plant something into their head or into their bodies, a ticking time bomb. If you don't kill her by dawn, your body explodes. Instead of it being a whole demonic thing, the way it reveals itself at the ending of the first film, I thought it was a little bit of a cheap writing. I thought it would have been a lot more entertaining if we were to, see Samara Weaving's character kill off each and every single one throughout the movie. I think that would have been much more satisfying on my take. Because they kept on throwing out the mystery whether or not if this was real or not. Once you find out that it is real and these guys just explode, you're just like, well, I guess it is real then. So, but the whole demonic stuff, not into it. And then when we go to Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, my ratings for this one, since I enjoyed it a lot better than the first one, I'm going to go ahead and give it a good 70%. Like I said, the whole dilemma, the whole dialogue between the two sisters, it wasn't really working out for me. But yeah, I had a great time, fun time with this movie. It's a good popcorn film to go to the movie theaters and have a good time at the movies. I just had a great time. Hope that there's not a third movie. I think that it's just a good finale and coming to a close. Let's see what these guys can do with the next new Mummy movie. Looking forward to that one. I think these guys, the directing is top notch. I love it very much. So anyways, you guys, that's my review for Ready or Not 2019 and Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. What did you guys think? Have you guys checked it out? Leave a comment down in the comment section at the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie, or these movies, or any movies that you like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click at that like and subscribe button there, you guys. I really do appreciate everybody having to take supporting my channel. And if you want more upcoming videos, just click on that notification bell and it'll let you know when those pop up. So anyways, you guys, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream. And as always, stay awesome. Thanks, you guys, once more again. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Mummy 4, Mummy 3. Let's do it, guys. Bye.